Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at this. It's been really hard for me to make videos with kids around, half term, nursery off. Yeah, it's just been horrendous. But doing the live stream tonight, so that should be fine for those who are members of the Patreon. Otherwise, let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin and we'll transfer that knowledge over to the rest of the overall market. As we always do, Bitcoin dictates the overall market, right? So we've had one hell of a pullback, haven't we? I'd call it more of a pullback. It's a rejection, basically. So our Bollinger Bands basically being the main area of playing this role. The top area getting rejection 1, 2, 3, and then a continuation down. This is on a daily here. So broken down below the Bollinger Band center here, and sort of having a bit of a reaction on the area that we've basically been dancing around since this accumulation has begun. Really, my overall area of accumulation has been as low as 40. Right, so this whole area here, there's all the accumulation zone, and we never dipped down below. Well, I suppose we did dip down into the wick. So at 45,470, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks down there, but generally speaking, it's been this level horizontal zone which dictates the main area of where the accumulation bottomed out so far. But it doesn't mean that it can't come down further, and like I say, my expectation is that it would. Now, when we're talking about the time frame, we've thought about this in the way that the move should be measured time-wise, and this is how it should really be looking to play out, which basically means that it should have really, well, I say this doesn't mean that we're looking for breakouts, but accumulation is due to end immediately, as of basically today, really. So if we do dive down a little lower, I'll be looking for supports around these, almost forming another bottom, like the equivalent of a liquidity grab, like a bear trap, basically. Now, if these areas do get broken, then yeah, we probably will be revisiting the towards, if not the wick of this area, about 42,000. But for the moment, we're still in the upper range of this accumulation. Look, I'm really looking for this to end, relatively soon. Whether we break down from here or break out from here, but going into what I called no man's land, which is what I determined this area is. This is basically no man's land. We're below pretty much all major moving averages at this stage on the daily. It's no place to be. We already caught ourselves a rejection on the 200 exponential, which is, I suppose, to be expected as well. There's no two ways about it. The posture on the chart is definitely that of a downtrend, but the bottom has to be relatively near, if not already in, from the 42,000. That was the mega wick that we were looking for, and that's the one we were expecting, and that's the one that we've got. And before this drop happened, I was saying if we get one of these, it is a buying opportunity, and I suppose that's still the case. Obviously, I expected that to happen due to almost like a deja vu event, really, of this Megatron virus which is going around, and the panic which will just basically spill over into all markets, just like the original one. When the original Megatron, the Megalodon, kicked in, this is what we got in March, right? A massive big sell-off and a fine recovery from that. But it did take a little bit of time, so we bounced quite significantly, and then we sort of consolidated ever so slightly from that, but making it really difficult to really anticipate where this is really going in the short term. I was skeptical. I was skeptical myself, because in the greater picture of things, basically, was that it could just drop again, not just because of the price action or the broken chart, which is what it was. It was a broken chart, really, in this stage. It was to do with what else could take place in the outside world, which may affect this. Negative fundamentals, basically. And it's not even that Bitcoin has anything. It's not even affected by this virus, really. It's just because it's a store of value. And it's very much tied into the traditional markets and the way that they move. It moves, it moves with them, basically. So yeah, this whole area is one to think about, and it's not really worth trying to do it, but we could do it for fun, couldn't we? We could do it for fun. Where's our fractals? Actually, shall we bother doing it? Nah, we won't bother doing it, because it would just be just for a laugh. But if we were to draw that in, we would get probably a similar kind of thing going on here, apart from what I would expect to see would be a smaller time frame take place for this. Because, yeah, we've got a consolidation, we've got a drop down, oversold wick into accumulation, maybe a bit of choppy price action. That's generally what you'd expect from accumulation. It does honestly, though, it does look like it wants to come down ever so slightly, even if it is just another wick that gets bought straight back up again. There's if you've been in Bitcoin for long enough, you do come to recognize its general behavior, and and probably I'd say that, you know, that behavior is being more emphasized now that there's even more money in it. It's really easy for those big players to manipulate this market, and just for the panic sellers to sell. And the amount of derivatives that are put into something like this, I mean, it's crazy. You know, even modest traders using things like 10, 20x's and stuff like that, like it's nothing. You know, that sort of leverage is for slow-moving stocks, not cryptocurrency. Do you know what I mean? And it's that causes a lot of this massive reds and massive greens, is because that money's not really there. Do you know what I mean? That money is not even really there. So yeah, it's going to be choppy and volatile, especially in a range like this, because we are in, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty much a downtrend. But I expect if the bottom isn't already in, it's pretty close to being in. And this whole area of, you know, between 40 and 49 is the major accumulation zone. So whether you decide to buy it here, or at the top, it's still technically accumulation, which is likely, very likely, to resolve itself to the up. No, it doesn't mean that there couldn't be some short-term pain, obviously, but that's my expectation. So, you know, it's only a few days from, you know, the end of the year, you know, into a new quarter, a new month, you know, a new year. I think that's when traders are going to start to wake up, like myself. You know, I don't have any time. There's no time to trade. There's no time to basically even do anything. You know, but I have a shave maybe once every 3 days at the moment, just because I have no time. I'm not saying that everybody's in my situation. I'm just saying, you know, it is technically a long holiday for many, many people, and there's not going to be a great deal of price taking place until it's ready, and especially when it's nondescript like this. So accumulation still in play, time-wise, technically 1 day of, you know, the measured move, no big deal. You know, these things aren't to be exact; they're just rough guides. But you know, whatever the formation resolves itself in, probably going to happen relatively soon, and I'll leave it with you there. Obviously, the market will be carried with it, whether that's up or down, for the better or for the worse. Right, I'll take it easy then, and I'll see you on the live stream for members. If not, I should hopefully get a video at a timely part of the day for you tomorrow. Take it easy.